everyone. I am Will Thomas.
And I'm Dane McAwee. Welcome to this week's edition of Leatherneck Insider. The Western Illinois football team didn't have the record they had quite hoped for going into the fall campaign. However, a handful of players were awarded for their success on the field. Leatherneck Insider reporter Kyrie Rogers has more on the recognition for these 7 players.
Western Illinois football ended their fall campaign 2-9. While the Leatherneck season is over, there were 7 MVFC all-conference selections on the team. Darius Joyner, who led the FCS in total tackles, and Dennis Houston, the FCS leader in receptions per game, found a first-team selection, while Mike Lawson, who was second on the team with tackles, and Connor Sampson, who etched his name in the Leatherneck history book all season long, earned second team. Tony Tate, who posted 2 100-plus receiving yard games, Greg Benton Jr., who had 31 solo tackles, and Hunter Mason, who had a sack or more in 4 conference games, all earned honorable mention. Good luck to the seniors on their next adventures. Reporting for Leatherneck Insider, I'm Kylie Rogers.
WIU's football team was not the only team to take home some awards this postseason, as the WIU women's volleyball team collected postseason awards for the first time since 2017. Freshman libero Carly Wenzel and outside hitter Brittany Wolf were selected to the All-Summit League freshman team on November 24th. Wenzel, who has started since late September, found a groove on the defensive side of the ball.
Carly took over at libero, and she earned that. And I told her that the day we put her at bro was against Omaha, and came up with a phenomenal, match there. And she's been leading the way for us. People are starting to hit away from her a little bit, as you can tell. So some of the teams are really trying to put a strategy around that as well.
Wenzel, who averaged 3.72 digs per set, stood 9th best in the league and led all Summit first-year players. She had a span of 4 games in which she had over 21 digs, including a 23-dig game, which was the highest in the Summit League at the time for a 3-set match. Wolf got things done on the offensive side. The freshman notched double-digit kills in 5 of the 7 matches down the final stretch of the year, including 21 against Omaha. Wolf led all league's first players with 2.57 kills per set.
Brittany had a phenomenal match against South Dakota State, career high, stuff like that. So it's really nice to see that stuff.
Coach Staupy said that he is excited to see where this program goes with all the young talent that is on the roster. Reporting for Leatherneck Insider, I'm Will Thomas.
Congratulations, girls. The Macomb High Bombers' 14-game win streak ended December 7th against Farmington after losing 44-41. Despite their loss, they notched the 2nd seed in the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament out of 16 teams. Leatherneck Insider reporter Nick Grunwald caught up with Coach Henderson on the team's recent success.
After going undefeated a year ago, the Macomb Bombers are picking things up where they left off, starting the new season off 4-0. Coach Anderson reflected on the team's hot starts.
We have some returning players, right, that played a lot last year on the varsity. Connor Watson, Connor Ham, Big Mike Maitland, Hayden Case. They all got a lot of playing time last year, so that's been key this year. And then adding in some guys that came up from the fresh soft team has really been a good mix.
The Bombers have been able to replicate the success they found last season due to the team's improved defense.
I think defensively, we're really starting to understand some of the concepts. Now, being able to execute it every night, that's a different story, right? That's kind of tough, especially when the other team's got good talented guards. They got a big guy maybe that can score. So we kind of know what we want to do. Now we have to keep working on that execution. I think last year we had some more experienced defenders that were used to guarding more talented players. And so this year those guys are going to get, our guys will get there, but it takes a while.
While the Bombers have found early season success, their focus is on improving each day on their road to a regional championship.
We want to make sure that we're ready to play and compete for a regional championship. Now, you don't do that in December, right? You don't do that in January. You try to keep getting better, so February, you're hitting those strides. And you're ready to go compete with anybody on your schedule. It's easy said, right? Easily said, but the other teams are going to be trying really hard too. So that's why we have to keep pushing each other. And that's one of, I think, our big advantages, is we have really competitive practices.
For Leatherneck Insider, I'm Nick Grunwald.
With new head coach Jackson Kane taking charge for the Macomb High girls basketball team, they have already shown signs of improvement. The team is currently sit at 3-6 on the year and has started off conference play Monday with a victory over Bushnell Prairie. Kane talked about the things the Bombers need to work on and what he brings as a new coach.
One of our biggest bugaboos right now is turning the ball over. I think we need to improve on that area. Just learning the schemes, the new schemes that I've come in here with, defensively, offensively. It's a lot, but I'm a demanding coach, and I think we can do it, and there's no reason we can't do it. So I think just gelling with the new scheme and learning and growing and all that good stuff.
When we come back, find out how one player made history on a team that is also making history right here on Leatherneck Insider.
Western Illinois University. Our beginnings in 1902 focused on providing affordable teacher education training. We've changed with the times and excelled through the years. Today, Western is positioned for the next 100 years and beyond. Affordability of diverse academic programs, outstanding learning opportunities, and hands-on experiences provide excellent job placement for our graduates. This is Western, forever Western.
Welcome back to Leatherneck Insider. On November 29th, Western Illinois guard Danny Nichols was able to reach a career milestone only few are able to achieve. Leatherneck Insider reporter Daniel Anaya has more.
On November 29th, WIU played against Incarnate Word, and at this time, Danny Nichols was 13 points away from scoring 1,000 points. Although they lost in a close game, Danny still managed to score 14 points to get her over the 1,000 point mark. Even though she is able to score seemingly effortlessly, her journey to 1,000 wasn't always so easy.
I had just been coming back from ACL surgery, so I wasn't really sure how I would react or come back from that. But once I kind of found my spot, probably halfway through my freshman year playing, I had a feeling I could be a key component to our team and possibly have that chance of scoring 1,000. I was just trying to be as positive as I could about the situation and use it to my advantage and take that year off and have a slow recovery. That way, when I did come back, I was completely healed. And it was tough at first, when I started playing, because I wasn't as fast as I used to be, or it just took a while to kind of get back in that role of playing.
Despite getting to the 1,000 point mark, Danny is still setting goals for herself and is on track to complete them as well.
By the time the tournament comes around, my goal is to be on one of the all-tournament teams, because I haven't been on one yet, and so that's kind of my goal, and I feel like this is kind of a step to getting there.
After the Compass Challenge, with WIU coming out on top, Danny Nichols is standing at a whopping 1,054 points. This has been Daniel Anaya with Leatherneck Insider.
Danny Nichols was not the only one making history this past week. The women's basketball team entered the 2021 Compass Challenge, having never won a game in the in-state tournament. On Friday night, they took on Northern Illinois. The Huskies and Leathernecks would need overtime to decide the game, but the Necks would pick up win number 1 in the weekend tournament, winning 92-83. They would take the winning mojo into Saturday's championship game. The Necks would find themselves down by 5 at half, but a quick 6-0 run out of the break would help Western take the lead. They would go on to hold on to that lead all the way down to the stretch to win 85-80 and claim their first Compass Challenge tournament. Danny Nichols and Evan Zars were selected to the all-tournament team, with Nichols also being selected as the tournament MVP. Nichols also won the honors of Summit League Player of the Week for her performance over the weekend.
Much like the women's team, the men's basketball team has also been clicking on all cylinders, as they've had the best start in school history since making the jump to Division I. Key returners Colton, Sandage, and Will Carius have been the spark to this historic start. I had the opportunity to sit down with both and find the keys to their success.
The Western Illinois men's basketball team has started off to an electric start as they are 8-2. A big contribution to this success has been because of Colton Sandage and Will Carius. On December 4th, Sandage was named as the Summit League Player of the Week. Sandage gives his credit to this confidence for the hot start.
And it gives me all the confidence in the world when teammates are telling me to shoot the ball, giving me the ball in that situation, and the coaches encourage me to shoot it. And when the ball is going in, you feel like you can hit anything.
Sandage is coming off a week where he averaged 22 points, 1.7 steals, and is shooting an astounding 59% from the field and 63% from beyond the arc. When asked about the hot start, Sandage expected winning basketball coming from the squad going into the season.
It's crazy. I mean, it's what we kind of expected, though. We knew what we had coming into the season. We knew how much we worked in this off season, and it's really a confidence thing with us right now. We believe that we can compete with anybody, and we've been showing it right now.
Colton isn't the only one finding their stride in this early season. On less than 24 hours of rest, grad senior Carius was able to start off 6 of 6 from beyond the arc, helping Western blow out Central Michigan. Winning all of these games is making the game more fun to play for the squad.
I mean, it's a great feeling. I mean, it makes it all the more fun to play, especially when your whole team's getting it going. We're getting some stops on the other end. It was great, and I think we needed it, especially coming off of a game where we played just less than 24 hours earlier. It was nice to have some things go our way.
Carius and Sandage have been on a trend of alternating who wants to be the leading scorer night in and night out. This friendly competition is getting the best out of these two,
pushing each other to be in a way that we can beat the other team. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we both want to see each other succeed. And I think it's just cool to have the versatility that our team has, to where we have so many pieces that can score the way we do. So I think it's just a friendly competition, if anything.
The Leathernecks are looking to extend their winning streak to 5 as they'll host in-state rival Eastern Illinois on December 18th. Reporting for Leatherneck Insider, I'm Dave Mackley.
Sandage and Carius aren't the only scorers. They have 4 in double digits with Trenton Master and Luka Barisic to cap it off. WIU will look to defend their undefeated home court record against Eastern Illinois on December 18th right here in Macomb at Western Hall.
Yeah, Will, both teams have definitely been very exciting to watch so far in this early season. Coming up next on Leatherneck Insider, the Summit League is making a bit of noise as they announced there will be a new change in authority and indoor track and field preseason polls were released. Don't go anywhere.
Your vision.
I plan on working for an agricultural company and eventually running my family's farm.
Our mission.
My professors are invested in my success. Western helped me find an excellent internship with a leading agricultural company.
This is Western Illinois University.
I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Welcome back to Leatherneck Insider. Change happens in all levels of a conference. It happens with players and coaches and even commissioners. The Summit League has announced they have hired a new commissioner. Josh Fenton will become the 6th commissioner in the league's 40-year history. Tom Dopel, the old commissioner, retired in October after serving as commissioner for 16 years. Fenton has been the commissioner of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference since 2013. He will serve as a special consultant to the league starting January 1st, 2022, before taking over his permanent role on April 11th, 2022.
Yeah, Will, Summit League making a bit of noise. We will stay with the Summit League. Indoor track and field preseason polls were released. Both men's and women's teams for WIU were projected to finish at the bottom of the polls. 4 WIU athletes were tabbed as athletes to watch. Akeem Colley and Richard Brown were recognized as they were able to crack the list. Colley last season was an All-American as he placed 6th in the 800-meter at the NCAA Track and Field Championships. Richard Brown was a 2021 Summit League Newcomer of the Year and was named 2021 Summit League All-Indoor Team.
Yeah, Dane, the Lady Leathernecks are also making a name for themselves as Paulina Westerfield and Malia Hudson were also named athletes to watch for this upcoming season. Westerfield is one of WIU's most experienced runners as she finished with the best mile time on the squad and placing 11th overall. Hudson will be competing in her first collegiate season. However, she was one of the top runners in the state of Illinois at West Prairie High School last year. She competed and won the state championship in the 800-meter and received all honors in the 400, 800, and 1600. Now going from the track to the links, the WIU women's and men's golf team added new players to their rosters. The women's team added a familiar name known to Macomb, Michaela Masato. Masato shares the same last name as Harry Masato, who was the head golf coach here at WIU for 35 years and who the Western Illinois golf course is named after. Michaela was an all-conference golfer all 4 years, a 3-time sectional golfer, and became the first state qualifier in her school's history, Dane.
Definitely cool to see the Musato name coming back. For the men's team, They inked 3 new players. Nathan Tillman, Braden Hubacher, and Drew Hall will all compete for Western in the upcoming years. Tillman was considered one of the top golfers in the state of Iowa, as he was All-Conference 3 times and All-State twice. Hubacher placed 3rd in his regionals and was named to the Northwest Herald boys golf team. Lastly, Drew Hall finished 1st in the 2021 IHSA 1A state championship and has 4 individual tournament first-place finishes. When we come back on Leatherneck Insider, reporter Jack Bell tells us more about future Leatherneck who will be coming to campus next fall. Stay tuned for more.
Taking me home, taking me home.
Here, I engineer the future.
Taking me home. Bring me back.
Here, I have countless opportunities.
Taking me home. Bring me back.
Here, I do research.
Right here at Western.
The Western Illinois softball team announced its 2022 recruiting class. Coach Guller discussed the 5 new faces that will be joining the squad for the 2022-2023 campaign.
The Western Illinois softball team announced its 2022 recruiting class. Coach Guller discussed the 5 new faces that will be joining her squad for the 2022-2023 campaign.
I mean, we have really tried to foster an environment here that's competitive every day in some way. They play for very high-level travel teams, which in softball is really where you do the majority of your recruiting. And they've kind of been through the grind for the past couple summers. Like, they've had to face good pitching, they've had to face good hitting, they've had to face people that are, above average speed, and it's because that's the quality of ball that they play. So I think that stuff translates too. And then the last piece is they've done very well in school and they come from good families. So I know we're really excited about these 5. To break them down, we have 2 that can throw. Catherine McChristie is a pitcher only. She just came off another all-state year. She was player of the year in her conference. I think a ranking just came out that she's the 42nd ranked pitcher in the country, which is great. I think she complements what we will have coming back. She's a really, really, really good off speed. And anytime that you've got that, you can be successful in college ball. You just got to be smart with your pitch calling. We have Maria, who's from California. Catherine's from Missouri. We have Maria, who's from California. She is kind of like how a lot of our current pitchers are, where they hit and pitch. Maria can play a couple defensive spots too. She's pretty versatile, but we're really excited just because she's one of those players that on any given day can help you win on either side of the ball. And I think anytime you have that, it just opens up your ability to make your lineup and all that. Olivia and Riley, they come from the same travel team, and they are both just really, really fast, dynamic, high on base percentage. I think between the 2 of them last summer, they stole 75 bases. So we are in need of adding some speed. We just, I'm not saying we're slow, but we need a couple more dynamic kids, so they kind of fit the bill with that. And Mal is our lone in-state kid. She is going to win the award for the dirtiest uniform on any given practice or game. She just plays balls to the wall, and I absolutely love that about her. I think we could put her at any spot and she will push whoever she's working against on any given day. She really sets the bar for kids that work hard. And I think anytime you can add somebody like that, especially, someone that's from in-state that loves being at a state school, it's just a good situation.
With Leatherneck Insider, I'm Jack Bell.
Thanks, Jack. Dane, the Western Illinois baseball team has also announced 6 incoming players that have signed to the 2022 recruiting class. Leatherneck pitching coach and recruiting coordinator Taylor Sheriff gave us an inside look at the new faces of the program.
The Western Illinois baseball team announced 6 incoming players that recently signed to the 2022 recruiting class. Leatherneck pitching coach and recruiting coordinator Taylor Sheriff gave us an inside look at the new faces of the program.
Cam Howard, he's a right-handed pitcher from Fishers, Indiana, Hamilton Southeastern. Good high school program, played for a good travel ball program. He's got a very good facility that he trains at in PRP out there in Indianapolis. He's a kid that just has a super high ceiling, but he's another kid that can come in and compete right away. He's got the makeup to transition to the college game and and really not skip a beat. But when you talk about bringing in the right people, the right personalities, the right family, he's exactly what you want when you're recruiting a high school kid. Another right-handed pitcher from Carmel, Indiana, for Buff Jesuit high school kid, really, really good high school program, plays around, SEC, ACC commits really every day. Chase Golden, again, he's a righty. He's got an electric arm, spin rates through the roof. We could see him really coming in and being a key bullpen piece early on in his career, and we're excited to see how he develops. Burke, probably our most recent commit here, left-handed pitcher out of Beloit, Wisconsin, FJ Turner high school kid. He's just a winner. He's a kid that we haven't seen really a ton of in person. He's a kid that went 9-1 last year and was the co-player of the year in his high school conference, had a sub-1 ERA in 59 innings, and he's really just a kid that has a super high ceiling, but he's already learned how to compete, how to win, how to get people out. So that's really something we're excited about. We've got Stephen Walsh, another Indiana kid from Brownsburg High School, played his travel ball with the Indiana Expos. He's a guy that we're very familiar with for a long time in the recruiting process, was a futures game kid, has a little bit of positional versatility, will be a primary catcher, can play some. Gage Wolf, probably the most local kid here, Bloomington High School kid, infielder by trade, really hard-nosed baseball player, played for a good travel program in Chicago Elite. And when you look for bringing in the right kids and the right balance, you look for kids that are just ball players, just get done. He's a guy that you probably put into that category of a drag, just really wants to put his nose in there and make plays and make it happen. Kind of has a knack for baseball. Just a routine kid that just plays the game the right way, great teammate, hard worker, all those things when you talk about putting together a recruiting class that you really want in your program. So Kyrie Alexander, utility kid from Thornwood High School up in the Chicagoland area, played for the White Sox Ace travel organization, so good travel organization. He's a true utility player, spent a lot of time behind the plate, spent some time playing shortstop, can play some outfield. What really stood out for him in the recruiting process, Coach Pasco got on him early. He's been committed a long time, but really just loves the hit tool. Where he's going to play defensively, we'll figure that out. But we're really high on his ability to compete in the box and really come and do some different things offensively, whether it's just driving the ball in the gap or just being that clutch hitter, the situational hitter. We're just really high on what he can bring to the club offensively. And then the positional versatility is huge. Anytime you
Sheriff is entering his first season with the program. He brings a load of success with him as he spent the past few seasons at Spalding, a D3 powerhouse. He discussed his philosophies and expectations for this year's pitching staff.
Yeah, we really want to build a culture of just flat out competitors, guys that just compete really hard. And when you're recruiting it, I think you really want to recruit that side too. You want to recruit guys that have a track record of getting people out. Obviously, you want to recruit potential and guys that have a high ceiling and can develop into something even a little better than present day. We're trying to build a culture of just guys that compete. They get guys out. They don't care what their stuff is. They don't care how they do it. They just want to go out there and ultimately keep runs off the board and give our team a chance to win. And that's what we want culturally within our staff. And I think we've done a good job recruiting that because it's guys that come from winning programs that have won. They know how to win. They know how to compete. They want to compete, and they want Western Illinois baseball to be able to compete for championships. I think that's what we're on track to building here.
With Leatherneck Insider, I'm Jack Bell.
Thank you, Jack. Well, that is all the time we have here on Leatherneck Insider for today. Be sure to give us a follow on our new Twitter at InsiderWIU, as well as on Instagram, and be sure to like us on Facebook. We'll be back with more Leatherneck Insider next year. For that, I'm Dane McAwee.
And I'm Will Thomas.
Have a great holiday break, everyone.